Hello, hello, hello. Maura Lucente here to talk to you a little bit about, I like to come up with fun names like lift and tuck and how much your eye shape and where we put eyeshadow and using some contouring techniques and our eyebrows and all these things can really help give you the appearance of an eye lift and really kind of tuck and create, you know, cheekbones like people like me don't have. And so we're going to talk about eye shapes, colors, contouring. I just love talking about this kind of stuff because I think it's things that we all kind of want to know, but where do we start and how do we know what is what? So I'm going to start by just sharing with you how some of these look. Okay, so just look right here where I'm circling with the arrow. We've got standard eyes. Now, standard eyes, you can start by knowing standard, wide set, close set, simply by measuring your eye. Try not to move your fingers, and you want to move it in between. And if it's the same distance as your measurement, they're standard. If you put your hands here and your eyes are farther apart than your fingers, your eyes are wide set. If they're closer, then they are close set. And why that's important to know is because where we place shadows can either make your eyes look too close together, which can make our eyes look small. The whole idea is we want these beautiful, wide, bright, open eyes where we can see your eyes instead of the makeup. And it can be something really, really simple. And then we have wonderful things like hooded eyes. I've got a slightly hooded eye, which means often as we can get older, we can get a little bit more of a droopy lid, or it can just be the way that your eyes are, where you don't see much of your eyelid. And so where we place the makeup again, because sometimes, you know, you do your makeup, you look in the mirror and you're like, I don't see any makeup. So how can we place the colors that we use to get the best results? Deep set eyes, so those that your brow bone is a little bit farther forward, which your eyes are set a little bit farther back, and then single eyelids. So to create the actual eyelid, create the actual crease. So again, we can have these big, beautiful looking eyes. Now, anything that is a highlight, so a lighter shade, is going to bring the part that you put it on forward. Anything that you put on a darker shade or a contour kind of color is going to bring it back. And so it almost creates like an optical illusion. You guys, makeup is so incredibly magical. So for example, if you have deeper set eyes, that means your brow bone's a little bit more protruded already. You don't want to be putting a whole lot of lightness right on this brow bone because that's going to pull it even more forward and make your eyes look like they're even farther set in. And if you have got hooded eyes, you know, you want to make sure that darker color goes up a little bit beyond the crease so that again, we can see the eye and the color that we're putting on. Standard eyes, girl, you are so lucky. You have the easiest eyes to do, and it's just super, super simple. So when you are applying a highlight, I'm just going to talk about kind of the highlight and kind of the crease in each one, because those are the main components. So when you have eyes that are standard, see if I can make this any bigger for you. The highlight is going to go right on the brow bones and the inner corners. Okay, so you can see right there, brow bones right over to the inner corner. And then your base just goes all over the eyelid. And the crease is going to go right in that crease. Now, if you're not sure, like, okay, where's our crease? How do we find it? If you kind of push, you can feel your brow bone or your orbital bone. That's where your crease is, or where it should be if you need to create it. On wide set eyes, you want the highlight more on the outer corners of the eye. So just on this part, you wouldn't go all the way across. Okay, so you can see, I'm trying to point at the screen. You can see right here, the highlight is stopping before we get to kind of this part of the brow. Okay, so your highlight would go here and out. Then you've got your base. It's more on the center of the lids. Again, kind of on the outer part of the eye, but just just in the center, not in that middle part. And then your crease is going to go on the inner corners of the lids and blend it upwards to draw the focus inward and also add the color to the bottom of the lash line. So it's very, very gentle here, the crease color in your crease, but then it's going to go more up in here. And again, that's going to pull that color back, right? Or that area back. So you're creating this part. So this is coming back. The outer part of your brow bone's coming forward. And therefore you're going to see the eyes better. I hope that helps somebody. Close set eyes, we want to put the highlight on the inner corners. So if you'll notice, it's opposite of the wide set eyes. Wide set eyes highlighted on the outside, close set eyes highlighted on the inside. And the base is going to go again in the center of the lid. And then your crease is actually going to go in kind of like a triangular shape, which is really, really interesting. So the outer corners of the eyes kind of point, and that is going to help bring the eyes, the appearance to be a little bit farther apart and wider and brighter again. Now hooded eyes, the highlight is going to go on the inner part, the brow bone, because this part's kind of down. We want it to have the appearance of up and out. So that's okay for that to go there. And then you're going to put the crease, not just in the crease, but you're going to blend it upwards. So I'm going to do a little demo for you, but when I put it on, blending is so important of which direction. Sometimes it's just in swirls to blend, but with that, you would literally move the brush in that direction to blend up, to have that darkness come up just a little bit so that we can see more of the color. Because again, if you've got more of a hooded eye, we want to have that crease be seen. So you're going to blend that up, 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 up to minimize the hooding of the eye. Make sense? Make sense? Okay. So deep set eyes, you are going to put the highlight all over, right? Because we want to bring the eyes out. So the highlight again brings the eyes out. You can see here, like it's almost all over the eye. Highlight shades are going to go all over the entire eye, inner corners of the eye, and right up to your eyebrows. And the crease is going to go from the creases of the eye up into the brow bones. So right in the crease line, right in the crease line, about in the middle, it's going to come out. Okay. And then it's also going to go down to the lower lashes. Okay. And so we really want to bring the eyes out when we have the deeper set eyes, because they're back here. That can make them look smaller. The highlight, you have more highlight than you do have any kind of accent or crease color in that. Single eyelids. So the highlight is going to go over the entire eyelid, all over up to the brow, because again, we're wanting to bring that out. The crease is going to go into a V shape. So you're going to go into that crease, but then you're also going to bring it out past the eye and down to the lower lash line. So you're creating like a sideways triangle almost, or a V, yeah, into the eye. And then you're going to blend across the lids, but you're going to stop halfway to that brow. Okay, so those are some kind of tips and tricks. Maybe I'll post this so that you guys can go back and look at it. And so now I'm just going to show you a quick little something. This would be really great because St. Patrick's Day is coming up. So that would work really, really well. So I'm going to take my crease brush and I'm going to stop sharing this so that you can see me a little bit better. I'm doing some really fun colors today. I'm going to do some greens, our emerald, our moss. I'm using Gold Coast, cinnabar, and a little bit of blossom, because again, with the hooded eyes, I want to put the highlight all over. I want to go right up on the brow bone. I want to go on the inner corners, and I want to go in the center of the eyelid with my highlight. So with my highlight, I am going to use Blossom. I've got on my eye primer already. So inner corners of the eye, I'm going all over and going right under the brow bone. Okay. This is also going to make sure everything goes on nice and evenly. This is a nice matte color. It's really good to use too for your crease, a nice matte A highlight, if you've got more hooded eyes, is great in matte. Okay, so now I'm going to use my crease brush. I'm going to take Cinnabar. This is the other thing some of you might have heard me say before. See the angle? So you can go into your crease with the brush pointing right into your eye, or when I have a hooded eye, I like to do it this way so that it comes just a little bit above my crease. I'm going to put the product on my brush. I'm going to tap it off. Never blow into the brushes because that can get extra saliva and germs, but then it doesn't pick it up evenly and then it doesn't apply easily either. If you have more of a hooded eye or a slightly hooded eye, if you can, take a mirror and go just below you instead of going, because then you look in the mirror and you're like, where'd my makeup go? So this way you can relax. You can be looking down. I'm just going to get my highlight in here. Now just remember, or not my highlight, sorry, my crease. You can always blend. Your eyes are never going to look complete or not funny until you're done blending. When in doubt, blend it out. Okay, so there we go. Crease right above my crease. Look at that. Do you see how it's already created? It's lifting. It's making my eye look lifted in comparison to this eye. So I'm just going to do one eye and so you can see it compared to the other eye. Okay, so that is my crease. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I am going to take my all over brush and I'm going to use moss, which I'm actually going to use kind of on this inner half of my eye. Again, tap, and I'm kind of going to press this in. Then I'll blend it out. Okay, but I love it. It's kind of a greeny, goldy looking color. It's really, really beautiful. But I don't think a lot of people, I feel like I like introduce you guys to all these colors. Okay, so I'm pressing that on. Okay, then I am going to take my, I'm actually using two different crease brushes. One for my crease, and then I'm using the other one for my emerald in the corner of my eye. So I am creating kind of that V, if you will, in the outer corner of my eye that I have already kind of created with the way I did my crease. So I'm going to follow that. I love this emerald color. It's so beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going along my lash line there, meet it with my crease, and going in. Okay, I chose these colors specifically for St. Patrick's Day. Also like to go along my lower lash line with the emerald because I love this color. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so now I'm taking my blending brush, and remember, I'm bringing this up, blending that in an upward motion. Okay, so I don't have any lines. Okay. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I have another all over brush, and I'm going in with my Gold Coast onto that inner corner of my eye. Just a little bit that way and a little bit up. Ooh, this is so pretty. I find that we're so nervous to try different colors. And it's so pretty. It just looks, I'm going to take a picture so that you guys can see a little bit more about it. Okay, so now I am going to take our eyebrow eyeliner brush. I'm actually going to hold it in my palm and I'm going to spray it with the makeup finishing spray so it can grab the product just a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm going to use the emerald again to line the top of my eye and bring, if I want, I'm going to check and see how it's looking on the bottom there, a little bit more along the top. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into that top, like I'm putting on eyeliner, right along that lash line. So pretty. I used to have eyeliner this color back, oh gosh, I don't know. It was my favorite eyeliner ever. And I think it was from MAC because they're like, they were first started to be performance makeup. So dancers and theater, all those people would get their makeup from there. Okay, now I'm going to take my Lash Intensity mascara that I love. Ooh, and to clean up my edges, you guys may or may not have heard this. This is our liquid foundation brush. This is another thing that's going to help with your eye shape and the lifting. If I have stuff that comes out past my eye, it can make me look like I have a droopy eye. So I take my liquid foundation brush, go right towards the end of my brow there, clean up the edges, and it gives me a much more lifted looking eye. So Lash Intensity mascara, one side of the brush is shorter, one side is longer. This mascara is amazing. It's magical, honestly. So I go back and forth on the one side of the brush. That's going to help thicken my lashes. And then I'm going to turn the brush and I'm going to pull it through, and that is going to lengthen my lashes. It's going to thicken by 83% and lengthen by over 100%. When this mascara came out, we sold $4 million worth of mascara in 72 hours. What does that tell you? Women are looking for an incredible mascara. And I still, to this day, because it's been out a few years now, have no other mascara that I love better, especially when I'm doing more of a done up look and I want volume and I want length. Having great mascara is also going to give you that lifted look. Try and show you my eyelashes. Is that better? Okay, so love, 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 love. I can see, okay, now I'm going to show you my brow, okay? Because this is really important too for lifting the eye. I'm going to use brunette brow pencil. Really, really important that we fill in our brows. For me, I don't have as much of an arch here, so I put more shading at the top to pull it. So I want to fill in some of these sparser looking spots right here. You want this to be in line with the edge of your nose. So if they don't go in far enough, you want to add a little bit on that inside. Okay. There we go. And then as I said, I want to really define that spot to really lift my brow. Now at the end, you want it to be in line with your nose, right out to the end. If it doesn't come out that far, that's where you want to add to your brow. Okay. To make sure that you've got that filled in brow. Okay, let's see, how's that? See, I've got more shape. It's filled in more, and then I'm just going to finish it with a little bit of our brow tint, which really grabs onto the hairs. It's got little micro fibers in there that grab and give the appearance of a more full brow. Okay, as we age, we get hair in places we don't want it, and we lose it in the places we do want it. How fair is that? Okay, I've got a nice full brow now. It definitely looks more lifted. And then I take the other end of that eyeliner brush and I'm just going to comb through just to make sure I'm even and it's softened. Doesn't look shiny, which I really love. Sometimes your brows could look shiny or like powdery. There we go. Okay, now when you are highlighting and contouring, this is what you want to do. I'm going to show you again. So you have, I find it for me anyways, easier when I'm also looking at something. Okay, so different shapes of faces, you're wanting to do placement of your highlighter and bronzer in different places. So oval, that's kind of like what we're going for to achieve. Highlighter pretty much for everyone though is going to go right here just above the brows. That again is going to help pull that part forward, and your contour is going to go make a fish face. It's going to go in those holes the indents. Your blush is going to go just above it, okay? And then you're gonna put a little bit of highlight right here for oval, and you don't need to put anything else anywhere else. Now, around your face, we're wanting to put a little bit of highlight, or sorry, contour here to help take away from the roundness and give it more, again, of that oval shape. And we're also gonna put a little bit here to, again, help narrow that face. Square face, we're going to put, again, some here, and again, some here. And you can just see the amount of product too on the little pictures that we have here. Heart-shaped, we're gonna put it a little bit farther, again, on the edges, and here, and just under here. With the long face, you're just gonna put it on the top of the forehead and just under the chin, okay? We're actually not putting it here because you've got that long looking face as it is. Can anybody guess what my face shape is? It used to be oval, but I think I've gotten a little bit rounder as time goes on. So I'm going to take my blush brush, which I love because it's three-sided. Okay, I'm going to take you off of here now so that you can see me a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so it's three-sided. You can see how it comes at an angle. I like to use this one, the top side, as my contour because I feel like we need to get into more specific places. Then I like to squeeze in the middle, and that's where I can do my blush. And then my highlight can just go on the bottom part of that brush. So I'm going to start with my contour. I'm using Latte. That's that one right there. So I'm going to put a little bit of contour on the end of my brush, tap off the extra. Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit, kind of the highlight of my brow, just right here at the edges. Okay, then and I'm going to do it a little bit more so that you can see it, and then I'll blend it. Okay, this is going right into this little piece of your ear. Okay, then I'm going to blend it. Okay, and then I'm also going to go a little bit along my jawline. To round, to narrow, I should say, narrow that space. Okay. Okay, now I'm going for my blush, which is going to be in the middle. I'm using Darling Pink, which is that one there. Okay, I'm going to go right in the middle. And now my blush, you want to go from down up instead of up down, because you really want to stay kind of like a finger or two away from your nose with your color. So you can stop better than starting here and the brush goes maybe too much. So again, on top of that contour down. And we used to always talk about find your apples, but sometimes some people's apples fall farther from the tree than other people's do. So you don't want to be pulling your face down by accident with makeup, and you don't even realize that you've created that, right? Okay, so now I'm going to grab my highlight, which is glazed. This guy right here. Okay, and that is going to go right in the middle. Okay, just above my brow. Brows just in the middle. Okay. Then I'm going to go just at the bottom of my chin. Okay, sometimes we go down our nose, but again, it depends on your face shape. Okay, and then what I do as well is, again, you can take that foundation brush just to kind of blend it in, or I really like going under where I've contoured to really just help with that definition. So this side, I have cheekbones. This side, I do not. So you can see this side of my face, to me, looks a little bit, I have a more defined jaw. This side, you can see, I do not. But this side, I have created a defined jaw without makeup. Like when I'm looking at it, I don't have this makeup defined line. I just have more of a shaped face. And so you can see how this eyebrow has lifted. I have tucked. And with the shape of my eyes, I have created, so you can see my eyes really stand out. My eye color really stands out versus just seeing the color. So that would be a super fun look that you could create for St. Patrick's Day. In the comments to get entered to win our draw tonight, let me know, what face shape do you think you are? What eye shape do you think you are? What was the #1 tip that you took away from tonight? Have you ever thought of green? I know one of my amazing, lovely clients, Jen, I love you, just got to use green, and she's got these beautiful brown eyes. I've got green eyes, and so you can also see how green sits on green eyes as well. So there you have it, ladies. So let me know if you've got any questions. That's how you get entered. You can be entered until Wednesday night. I will post a picture of the finished product as well, so you can see it all together. And I'll just take a picture so that you can see that as well. Thank you so much for joining us. Please let me know if you have any questions at all. And we will see you next time.